Tell me the last time that you saw Amorphage even be mentioned as a deck. So, what is up, guys? I'm We're going to be looking at, well, your chunk of OCG deck profiles. We have Metal Reflex Slime Turbo. Yeah, it's not as it seems. We've also got Subterror Dragma, and we've got Amorphage. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've never thought of playing pure Amorphage. Because, they also still have Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon, and we don't. We still need this. This is the one that you could pay $500 to ditch it off. You can discard this card and pay $500. Add 1 level 8 or lower Dragon Pendulum monster from your deck to your hand. Oh, it's like it's a searcher for this entire deck. So, Amorphage cards. If this card is Pendulum Summoned or flipped face up, the player can splash some monsters from the extra deck while this card is face up in the field. It's almost like being able to deny your opponent the basic necessity of special summoning is neat. Pendulum effect: while you control a Amorphage monster, monsters cannot activate their effects except for Amorphage. Once per turn during your standby phase, tribute 1 monster or destroy this card. Unfortunately, scales kind of have stinky poo-poo effects, but that's fine. Now the player can special summon monsters from the extra deck except for this guy, and while you control an Amorphage monster, any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. Once per turn during your standby phase, tribute 1 monster or destroy this card. Maintaining these scales kind of gets a little bit hard. Alright, if this Pendulum Summon card or flipped face up, neither player can special summon monsters from the extra deck. Okay. While you control the Amorphage monster, neither player can activate spell or their effects except for Amorphage cards. During your standby phase, you gotta pay that hefty maintenance cost. And then we have the Amorphage Pride. If this Pendulum Summon card or flip face up, neither player can special summon. And then, while you control that Amorphage monster, another player takes any effect damage. Once per turn during your standby phase, pay that cost. We've also got, 2 Inspector Border, triple copies of Maxi, and then we've also got triple copies of the Odd Eyes Phantasm Dragon. So you can discard this card, add 1 face-up Dragon Pendulum monster from your, or you can discard 1 card, add a face-up Dragon Pendulum monster, extract your hand. Well, that seems really good. Scale 0, by the way. And if you have 2 cards in your Pendulum Zone, and a face-up Odd Eyes Pendulum monster in your extra deck, you can special summon this card from your hand. We're never touching that, alright? One thing we care about here is we can discard, recur back our Pendulums. Also, Universal 0 scale, alright? We have triple copies of Gamma, 1 copy of Driver. Spells, we have triple copies of the Amorphage Infection. So all your Amorphage monsters are going to get 100 attack and defense for each Amorphage card on the field. If a monster's in your hand, or you control, is tributed, or destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add 1 Amorphage card from your deck to your hand. So at least this gives you more of a tutoring for what you're going to want here. We have triple extra, triple copies of Sky Iris, because getting into my universal scale, or also access to my Cheese Rhoda is pretty good. Then we have 1 Terraforming. Traps, we have 2 Crackdown, and triple copies of Solemn Judgment. Down here in the extra deck, we have 1 Phoenix, 2 Stardust, 1 Omega, triple copies of the Draco Berserker of the Tinyi, 2 Starving Venom, 2 copies of the Dragastapelia, 2 Mud Dragon, and 2 copies of Ints. Side deck here, we have triple Sphere Mode, 1 copy of Feather Duster, 2 Lightning Storm, 2 Mind Control, 2 Super Poly, 2 Dark Bribe, and triple copies of Evenly Matched, wrapping up your Amorphage deck. Like I said, I never would have thought, in all my years, that we would start to see Amorphage, of all things, kind of start to take off. To be fair, though, effects that can generically jam the extra deck end up being good, it seems. Also, Odd Eyes Revolution to TCG win. Alright, we also have Dragma Subterror. Now, we've seen what Subterror does, right? Like, this whole deck aims to use this consistent grinding engine versus your opponent, where you whittle down their resources, and then you make an attempt to capitalize on the slow down pace of the game. That's standard Subterror 101. Also, Venus. And then we see, this is where the mini Dragma engine starts coming in. This is where the 1 Ecclesia, the 1 Fleur-de-Lis, and to some degree, Punishment. I've kind of noticed like these have been the 4 universal splashed cards. You're either able to tutor for the negate, or you can get the card that's a double destruction. Alright? You would be surprised that, like, I'm actually really happy to see that these have found their way into stun based in our strategies, but this is down to the bare minimum. This is insanity, like how good this is. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, one copy of Ecclesia, the Dragma Saint, one copy of the Fleur de Lis, the Dragma Knight, two copies of Maxi, and then we only have two Subterror Fiendus, triple Guru, and one copy of the Nemesis Archer, rounding up your monster lineup here. Spells, we have two Disciple of the Nadir, one Necro Valley. Honestly, we give Necro Valley a lot of crap some games, but the fact that this card just solidly shuts down strategies is the real winner here. Like, this card is good. We have two copies of Pot of Duality, triple copies of Pot of Extrap, one Cave Clash, one Super Poly, one Terraforming, and triple copies of the Hidden City. Traps, we have one Crackdown, two copies of Dragma Punishment, two Imperm, one Metaverse so that we control our opponent. We're also not citing the Mystic Mine. We have triple copies of Subterror Judgment, two Solemn Strike, one Final Battle, triple There Can Only Be One, and one copy of the Vanity's Emptiness, wrapping up the main deck. Extra deck, we have the one Striker Dragon, because Dragon, by the way. I don't know how many people actually catch that. We have two copies of the Relinquished Anima, one Verti Anaconda, one Omega, then we have one Starving Venom, one Dragostapelia, one Mud Dragon, one Ashen Dragon, triple Ints, one Ignister, one Dracula Quest, and one Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Side deck here with two Lancia, one Feather Duster, two Prohibition, one Super Poly, two Dimensional Barrier, two Evenly Matched, triple copies of Heavy Storm Duster, one Pure Order, and one Unending Nightmare, wrapping up your Subterror Dragma list. And much like we said at the beginning here, this engine will probably be seeing a lot of splashability here in the near future, as soon as this deck ends up touching down in the TCG. Mark my words, you might want to prepare for this, because this whole 6-card engine, depending on how you want to play it, the reward is so much worth it. Next up, we have Godslime Turbo. Egyptian Godslime here. So, this little fantastic thing, you have to tribute a level 10 Aqua Monster with 0 attack. You know who fits that bill? This guy. So, this is basically rank 10 Turbo, essentially. So, we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. My boy Barbaros is here. Triple copies of Barbaros. Two copies of Pankratops with one Golden Boy and two copies of Max C. Very interesting for the card choices here. Like, I dig this. We have triple copies of the Eld Elixir of Black Awakening, one Super Poly, and then we have one Conquistador, two Crackdown, two copies of the Imperial Custom, one Imperial Order, two Infinite Permanents, two Lose One Turn, triple copies of the Metal Reflux Line, and we have triple copies of the Sacred Beast Awakening. So once per turn, if you control a level 10 monster, you can add one continuous trap card from your graveyard to your hand. This card gains these effects, but we don't really care about that. We just care that once per turn, if we have that level 10, you can add back a continuous trap card from your graveyard. Yay, I can re-loop my Metal Reflux Slimes. Isn't that cute? We have triple copies of Skill Drain, two copies of Solemn Judgment, two There Can Only Be One, one Vanity's Emptiness, and two copies of the Waking the Dragon. Down here in the extra deck, we have one Verti Anaconda, one Nightmare Phoenix, one Cerberus, one Last Warrior, one Starving Venom, and one Dragostapelia, one Chimera Phlegia, one Exterio, one Mud Dragon, two copies of Ints, one Winda, and triple copies of my buddy, the Egyptian Godslime. Honestly, this card is so good. So it's treated as 3 tributes for a tribute summon. We don't care about that. We care that this thing cannot be destroyed by battle. Your opponent cannot target monsters you control with card effects except for him. Also, their monsters cannot target monsters for attacks except for the Egyptian Godslime. And it's really ridiculous, just the unbridled power that this card gives to you. So I take a of one Maxi, triple Prohibition, one Super Poly, 3 Tactical Talents, triple Evenly Matched, one Infinite Permanence, 2 Macrocosmo, one Judgment, and one There Can Only Be One, wrapping up your chunk of OCG deck profiles. Definitely happy to see Egyptian Godslime back in full swing. Definitely something. This card's pretty nutty, actually. Sacred Beast Awakening? So guys, what do you think about your chunk of OCG deck profiles for this week? Please leave a comment down there. Super easy. I like reading all of them. Sometimes I don't get to reply to all of them, but it's still really nice. And well, guys, I'm out. Peace.
Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out VanCole40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCole40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcolegames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.